Welcome to the Unfiltered Path podcast, where we explore a life journey without the constraints of filters. In a world saturated with highlight reels, we dive deep into the true essence of individual experiences and offering our listeners an uncensored glimpse into the triumphs, struggles, and transformative moments that define us. Our mission is to provide hope, inspire resilience, and remind you that every path, no matter how windy or rocky, can lead to growth and enlightenment. Join us as we navigate the uncharted territories of truth and to be moved and be inspired and discover that you're not alone in this unfiltered journey of life. Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle. I am the owner of Aerial Jade. I am an aerialist. That's a fancy term for performing suspended in the air. I'm also an educator, so I help other people to do it too. I'm the bird of the circus. And I'm here with my co-host.
What is up, everybody? My name is Graham Duval. I am the owner of Valued Productions. My company works to produce and implement video marketing strategies proven to make you more successful with your business, helping you turn a stranger into client using video content. And I am joined with my co-host today.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Trinity Baker, mindset coach and motivational speaker. I help work with my clients to take them from survival mode to thrival mode with the power of their mindset. And we are joined here today with our very special guest. Ms. Sasha, would you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Sasha Vernakis, and I'm the owner of Sasha Lee's Boutique in Lewiston, Maine. We also own an intimate portrait studio in Auburn, and I help my clients find self-love through portraits or a lingerie experience, personalized fittings. So we do a little bit of everything at Sasha Lee's.
Amazing.
I love it. What I like is you do have such an imprint in the community in terms of body positivity, and it's usually through some of maybe your workshops. So she does a lot. She doesn't just function a store or even just a photographer. She really like digs in deep into the community and helps in a variety of ways. You even have like a podcast kind of chat thing. So please tell us a little bit about each sector of yourself.
Sure. We do have the store, and then the store is like a retail location. But from the store, we've branched off and we've done things like lingerie fashion shows. We've done burlesque performances. We've done body autonomy rallies. So a little bit of everything. I mean, there's so many different places we could go with it, but I do also do the workshops that you're talking about, where we teach like Japanese rope bondage, we teach couples massages. So it's fun, but like also educational based. We want to definitely be a safe place for people to come from the community to ask those questions that they're just afraid to ask anybody else. So we always want to provide that space where people feel welcomed and not judged. So yeah, we do a little bit of everything.
Love
Little sprinkle of everything.
If you think about and you look at the impact that you make with the work that you do, it goes so far past intimacy and connection with a partner, right? Because if you are helping individuals build their self-worth and their confidence in themselves, that is a direct ripple into everything in their lives. And so I love that you start with something super vulnerable, giving people a safe space to talk about and explore and ask questions and get resources and products for. But your bigger impact is so beautiful. It's so amazing. I love that.
That makes my heart so happy to hear that.
Mm.
So
Definitely the goal that we're going for sure.
yeah, no, for sure. Because I mean, think about it this way, right? So I just pulled up like some super quick Google statistics. I don't know if any of these are like actually right, but we're just going to go with them. So 20% of adults feel shame about their body image. 34% of adults feel down about their body image. And 35% of people feel depression because of their body image. 13% of people have suicidal thoughts because of their body image. And like this just goes on and on and on. 51% of Americans feel pressured to have a certain body image. So I love what you said when you first came on. You're like, sexy is different for everyone. Confidence is different for everyone. Danielle always says this, we're avatars. Like we are our souls in this avatar that we're given, and we all treat our avatar different and it looks different and it feels different. It functions different. I love that you help people embrace the avatar that they're in and have that confidence and self-worth with whatever that is.
That's a really unique way of looking at it. And I love that actually, that the avatar thing. Um, yeah, I would say the statistics that you read are, from what I have experienced, like in this community and working with people, is probably pretty like low. I think it's higher than that, to be honest. That's
Mm.
how our fashion show idea kind of came about. I was in the boutique kind of in the beginning of my business. We've been in the Lewiston location for over a decade now. And when I first got started, people would come in to try on pieces, and they would always say, like, I love this piece, but this. I wish my body didn't do this. I don't like this part. And
Mm.
instead of focusing on like the things they did like, not just about the lingerie, but also about their body, they would focus on the things that they, felt were flawed. And so I was hearing that no matter what people were looking like walking into the dressing room, everybody was having the same experience. And I think it's because we look at the photo that's attached to the piece of lingerie that we're purchasing, and we feel like if we don't look like that, then we're not worthy to wear the piece. And so I had this idea to show the pieces on like real people from the community. So when we
Mm.
first got started our first year, we just put an application out and we said, if you're over 18, please apply. And I didn't think I thought I'd have like two people apply. And we had over 100 people apply the first year.
Wow.
Yeah, which was
That's so
so
crazy.
cool. It honestly, it blew my mind. And I work with another girl another woman, I should say, in the community, Jamie Lynn Alley, and she helped me with my fashion shows to get them started. And what we do is we do like an application process and we pick a diverse amount of people. So like all genders. We also pick varieties of like body shapes and sizes. We pick different hair colors so that we can style things differently. I mean, ages 18 to I think our last show I think was like 70s. So a good variety of ages as well. And we work with them for several months. So it's definitely not just putting a garment on them and walking them down a runway. Our shows are totally different than what you would think for a normal fashion show. And I
I
think
love,
that's pretty cool.
it's more about the experience, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
I've
self-evolution. I love that. And then like the shows at the end of it. That's
Yeah.
impactful.
I have a handful of friends. This is the first time I'm meeting you and learning more about your business, but I have a handful of friends who have posted pictures that they've been in your fashion show. And so I've seen the other side of that and the confidence that it creates for them. And so it's kind of cool to then learn about your business. How did you get started in this? What makes you so passionate about this mission?
Gosh, it's crazy because I've been in this industry since I was 18, which is wild. So it's been some time. I first got started, uh, really, it was a friend who had mentioned to me, people were doing like home parties at the time, and they were selling Pampered Chef and Scentsy and things like that. All great products, but just like none of them spoke to me. And then all my friends were saying, you give such great advice. You should do like those parties, is kind of how they put it at the time. So I did. I started doing those parties, basically selling like plastic with batteries, I would say. And I sold that door to door out of my trunk. I would sling lube out of my trunk. And I did that for years, years and
That's
years and years. I worked with
awesome.
kids prior, and I just thought I did love what I did, but I did not make as much money as I made selling the lube. So I got kind of star dazzled by how much I would say how much people needed the lube and how quick it sold. And then from there, I became a product buyer for Adam and Eve. And so I got to kind of have my hands in the warehouse and pick products and do that kind of thing. And that really inspired me to open my own store. I wanted to have just more control over the items that I sold to people.
Oh my gosh.
I've been to a couple of those parties, let me be
That's
real.
what I'm saying.
It is such a bonding moment for women, I'm gonna be honest, and a safe space for couples and like a night out for couples, like a lot of married couples. I would just recall that. And it's such like an homage to being an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like that is such an entrepreneur story. So it's like I sold
Mhm.
it and then I figured out how it was made and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Total on
Yes.
Yeah.
journey.
Uh,
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this podcast is I love hearing the entrepreneurial journey because none of us I mean, not none of us, I shouldn't say that. A lot of us don't say, you know what, I'm going to start a business tomorrow and be an entrepreneur. It's always like this little that gets planted from something else. And
Mm.
then our mind is just like, whoa, look at how much more of a bigger impact we can make when we do it this way and we step out this way. And so that's exactly what you did. And I freaking love it.
Yeah, because you opened your store and then like you now have this like photo thing. Like how
Yeah, that's
what
huge.
was that like kind of add-on shift?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm always adding on something, so I can't
That's what's
stop.
up,
I guess Jamie
right?
always tells me, she says, "Girl, hit the pause button for a second and breathe." But it is hard for me to do that, and I always like to do different things. The photo thing came from kind of the same thing, just hearing like what people were saying in my store. So kind of like the lingerie fashion show, I was hearing people say like, "Oh my gosh, like I wish I could have my photos done," or I feel so good in this. Like once I
Mm.
talk through like the things that are going on in their head and how they're basically re-navigate how they're speaking to themselves is really what we do. And then it got me thinking, and so we started working with other photographers at first. And I would hire different photographers. I'd book the clients, help with the posing and stuff like that, but I was not the photographer. And then, gosh, a handful of years ago, I decided to buy a camera and I said, I really want to do this start to finish myself and really tailor the experience that I'm giving and work with the clients just in a different capacity. And I was looking for a way to just be really creative. And, in between the fashion shows are a very creative process, but when I'm not doing that, I definitely needed another outlet. And so the photos kind of became that. And then they just quickly became very popular. And I would say right now my business is pretty well split by time. We're booked out. I think now for this coming year, we're booked out about 6 to 9 months, I would say.
Wow.
So it's been really a great experience.
Nice. Well, send that
That's
Yeah,
energy my
amazing.
way. I like that.
I
I'm
got
all down in
that.
between. I have my summer book, but that's just the vibe I want more of. Like I'm booked.
Yeah, it's you're
And
booked and busy, but we always say this is what I say all the time it sounds kind of cheesy, but I'm going to tell you. At
okay.
the end or when I book a client, I get off the phone, I always say, "Thank you, universe. Send me another one."
Ooh, I
Yes,
dig
I
that.
know. I like that.
I
We
dig
have
that.
a bumper sticker we're gonna sell for our podcast is
Yes.
guided by Universal Winks. So we're all about that around here and just like celebrating the small wins and that is
Yeah.
just
Yes.
It's a whole energy, right? So if you look at, we just had an energy healer come on as a guest a couple of weeks ago, and she's been one of my educators. So I've been learning a lot about energy. It's a whole energy of what you're doing. You're lifting these individuals' total body image, self-worth, self-esteem, energy up to new levels, right? So if I think I've been doing some coaching with Graham and everything he's teaching me about social media and leads and reaching the individuals that need me and need the work that I do, it's in energy. I'm actually like harnessing the energy of attracting them to me. And so
Hmm.
what we're talking about is literally that when you're like, thank you
Yeah.
for client, bring me more. It's like there's a never ending supply of them. Everyone
Hmm.
needs everything that we do.
It's
We
true.
are responsible for getting the message out there and saying, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. I can help you. Contact me.
I love that. I think that's really true. And
Awesome.
I think like what you said about what Graham was teaching you is important because it's not just about finding, I think, your client, but in the last couple of years, I was trying to like shift my mindset to not just finding clients because I think because I come from a retail background, I think, I need everybody as my client immediately. But in the photo section, I really started shifting my mindset, finding my ideal client because you
Mm.
want someone to like match your energy,
Hmm.
and that doesn't mean that they're not a potential for like an intimate portraiture, but just maybe I'm not their photographer. So I want to kind of just line up with who feels the same vibes that I feel, who is looking for the outcome that I can provide, who needs my experience. And then it really does come like full circle because I'm also feeding off their energy, and when a client, I show them like their images at their in-person reveal and their mind is just like blown and they're super happy. That makes me feel really good. That makes me want to go home and edit the
Hmm.
next person's photos. So it is
Hmm.
like a full circle experience.
Oh, that's so, so true. It like that is such a key. And I think there's in an entrepreneurial journey, like there's such a balance sometimes when you're like first starting out of like, okay, how do I get this thing to actually be a business and like take clients, but then the pain in the ass sometimes that causes, but then also saying no to people, so that you do get to that point where like, it makes it so much more fun when, you give a client a photo or you provide a product or an experience or a coaching session or whatever it is, and they're like, wow, this is awesome. You just want to give so much more versus like a client who is like, well, can we do this and then like make that change? And it's like, yeah, we can, but I
Exactly.
totally relate to that.
Talk a lot about the universal winks and how they're like confirming that we're on the right path. But the universe is also doing the opposite. The universe is also trying to get your attention and saying, this isn't the client for you. This isn't the revenue for you. This isn't, whatever that path is. And we're often missing them. And then we're getting like 10 steps way too deep in a path that we're not supposed to be on.
Hmm.
So it's like I encourage our listeners to look at the universal winks as like confirmation you're on the right path. But also look at what the universe is also trying to teach you, which is like if you don't get that client, there is a reason that client isn't meant for you right now, or isn't meant for you and is meant for someone else.
Exactly.
The
Yeah,
universe is
I should
always
remember that for my dating life. Saved me a lot of time.
true. Oh, it's true. It's with everything. And it's with relationships, not even like intimate relationships, dating. It's with everything. The universe is always guiding us one way or the other. We just have to listen.
I'm only kidding though. I'm good with no now. I say it pretty often.
Good.
Sasha also uh creates opportunities for other people. So you offer makeup, correct?
Yeah, so like at our photo sessions, when you come into your appointment, you're going to spend an hour to 90 minutes with our glam artist. Right now, we work with Bridget Snow. She does beautiful makeup and then also like a hairstyle. She puts body gloss, body contour, all of the things to make you feel really good before you get ready for your photos with me.
I love that that's built in because I feel like,
Yeah,
just like you really are offering an entire experience. And then, extending opportunities to other people. And I love that it's derived off being an artist. So not only are you a businesswoman, but you're absolutely loyal to being an artist. And I love that. And it takes a lot of courage. I deeply relate. And Bridget's a friend of mine, so I love that it's extended so she can continue her artistry, which is makeup. And it's just delightful. She used to dress me for when I would paint live. And because I would
yes.
paint for burlesque groups, they would comment, the only thing they would say is wear less clothes. And because I've become kind of conservative after having the humans. And so I would go to her shop and be like, okay, I was told I had to wear, but something I feel good with. So she would find me like an open skirt to go over like a piece. So I still felt covered, but then I was honoring the environment I was in. Because when you're painting, you're so focused on the painting, I really don't want to be thinking, is my roll sticking out on the left? You know what I'm saying? Like I really wanted to be comfortable, and you always were able to provide something that was like a balance, which I love because it's a lingerie store, but you could tailor to someone that wanted to be conservative too, and but beautiful and sexy. So I just absolutely love her store, and it's sprinkled like all over the community.
Oh.
I'm not the only one she dresses. Like I commonly hear that, especially in our world as aerialists, like there's different variations of us, and we all kind of need unique clothing, and we can't always order online for our show. Some things are just pop up happening. And a lot of times we'll lean on your shop because like as a performer, it's kind of like where we can get like those type of options.
Yeah, I think a lot, I mean, I tell people all the time, you can go online and you can purchase pretty much anything that I sell. If you do your research, you can find corsets, you can find lubricants, you can find all of those things. But what you can't purchase online is the ability to one, try it on before you purchase, two, to have like a professional expert opinion tell you if something's fitting correctly or if you need to be resized differently. You can't come in and tell, online. You can't you type it into your computer. Hey, I'm feeling this way. I'm having anxiety about this. I love these colors. So you can come in and tell me that, and then I can kind of help navigate you into the right direction. And that's
Mm.
for like the clothing apparel that we have, but also like the other like intimate accessories, I'll call them.
Mhm.
And I tell people, people come in and they tell me really personal and private things. And I want people to continue to feel comfortable to do that. So I'll always do my best to provide like an accurate answer for people. And if I don't know the answer, I will research it for them. And I don't think that you can get that same experience online. Plus, I think it's really important right now, and I'm sure all of you feel this, but to support local business. I did make a post about this recently. I know a lot of us have. And I'm going to continue to shout out local businesses in the community. I'm trying to do 10 a month. And then I'm going to go to those places and just do like a little recording with my phone, and make like a little reel or something. And just to kind of say, hey, like check out these places. Because, when you're scrolling TikTok or Instagram and you're seeing these videos, of course, if you see like, some mozzarella stick that's pulled out and has this crazy cheese pull, then you're like, oh, maybe I'll go there. But those sometimes are businesses like corporate chain places, and no hate to them, but they're not your small local businesses that are run by
Mhm.
your neighbors. And so I think that's really important to do that more locally.
I love that. I
100%.
just yesterday I saw that like apparently you comment that you went to one of the locations
Yes.
and you can win a gift card. I was like, oh, I'm on that. I got a video. I'm
Yeah,
gonna put that
please
in
do.
chat.
Please, yeah, anybody that's listening, anybody that's watching, however this comes out in any type of media, please consider entering that in. So Shayna from the chamber, she was like, hey, I'm gonna do a $25 gift card to enter in, and then we're matching the donations to the warming center. Jamie's doing a $25 gift card to Bull Moose, and then I'm donating a $25 gift card. So this prize package keeps getting bigger and bigger. And all people have to do is just visit any of those 10 locations that we listed as our favorites for January. And they can visit them. They can take a little selfie of themselves in there or a picture of like whatever they participated in, drop it in the comment section of that thread, and then we'll be entered to win.
So
Uh,
Very
cool. Very
cool.
innovative. It actually kind of inspired me. I think we were all kind of just collectively reacting. A bunch of business closed. And
Yeah.
I was,
Mhm.
if you care, you care. And I was actually emotional. I think I dropped a tear. I just sat next to one of the business owners to win an award. Like I was nominated for Best of Arts and Culture, and she was nominated for the food. Oh, what is it called? Oh, brain fire is early. Um, it's like a food section.
Food
So,
and beverage.
with how they care for people essentially. And
Hospitality.
Hospitality?
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That word was not coming to me. Yes, hospitality. So they won. And Giselle, we have a little video.
My husband has been in carpentry and home building for 25 years. But my background was that I was a ballet dancer, and then I was a ballroom dancer, and I taught adults to ballroom dance for a few years. We're talking way back, like early 20s. From there, I started
Really?
becoming interested in my in business and the business. So a lot of people who are in the performing arts, I'm sure, yeah, Jade can speak to this. There's not training for how to have a studio or for how to run a business. That's nowhere really near what is offered. So I started working for Fred Astaire franchise, and that's where I learned a lot about business, and then educated myself through the years that I felt confident to own studios of my own, manage and then own. And so my husband and I have actually, we sold our dance studio. So we had a ballroom dance studio where we had teachers that taught people how to ballroom dance and dance for their weddings. Super fun business. It was wonderful while I did it. I became a mom and said, no one of us can't be going, in the evening anymore, teaching people how to teach ballroom dancing. So we sort of were very intentional with the pandemic about, um, we have this business, it's completely shut down. Where do we go from here? We knew we wanted to start a family. And I think one of the really important things is choosing Portland, Maine. Just it's a place that's always been really close to my heart, and I knew that my husband would love it because we're small city people. everything that Portland has. It's like everything, the community it's not like London, but there were the things that he was looking for from London. We found that here. So, yeah, we moved here and sort of said, okay, well, we don't have a dance studio anymore. What business are we going to do? Our first project was renovating the Hunwell Shepley Mansion in downtown Portland, and that was what we did together, more or less. I mean, I worked on the business and marketing and all that side of it, and he actually did the work and laying the floor and everything. And we loved that experience, and so we thought, well, this has been something that's part of our lives, and let's make this our full-time business. So yeah, it's a lot.
What intrigues you so much about business? Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, I think small business is a little bit of a revolution. I think it's what our culture needs, because it really gives people so many more choices for their future, so much more power of what they do about their lives. And, I'm not knocking, like, I've never worked for corporate America, and I know people who are really super happy working for their companies for many years, which is amazing. But there's something about small business that isn't really supported in society. And so to do it, you kind of have to go against all odds, which I think is completely admirable. You know, it's something that you kind of make your mark, and it's what people love about places. When you think of a place like Portland, why people love it is because it's not because of Walmart, although it's convenient. It's because of small businesses. It's because of the story that goes behind everyone's passion and everyone's contribution to the community.
We're so lucky to have you. Oh, you're just the house of talent. I love that. I am so quoting that today, that being a small business owner is how'd you word it? It's
like
a bit a
soft revolution.
revolutionary move. How'd you word it? A revolutionary move?
Yeah, it's like I mean, not to, it's like
it is though.
soft
And it
revolution.
not,
that's the word I'm
it
looking
is.
for.
And it's not promoted greatly. Right. And I'll be honest, just getting loans or help or even in taxes, it's they just assume I had a W-2. And so my business is turning 5, and now people have to listen to me. That's what I'm realizing, because now it's like, now I have enough background, like now I finally they'll, like, the outside world would hear us. But until your business is a little bit older, like, I really feel like, yeah, it's not exactly paved out for us, is what I mean. There's always some extra steps. It's definitely not designed all the time for us.
And even when you think that there's like a clear path, there's not a clear path. Like, all these things. I love what you said, Michelle, is like, there's nothing to teach you the business aspects of ballroom dancing, of aerial, of
or no, owning a studio. It's you,
Great.
because like I have to find people to teach me, and I had some education, and my aerial leader is a leader for a reason, but it's still not the same. It's still not Maine. She's in Los Angeles. What does she know about the Maine network? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like it can only go so far. Even our studio approach is totally different than what Maine needed as a structure. And I had to make mine traveling because of COVID, made me very aware that my business structure, we're the first ones to go. So, okay, that's good to know. But we're privately sought now higher than ever. So that's why Kelly from B&I taught me, is she told me that my genre and like home servicing, so cleaning, cooking, any type of like direct service like that, or carpentry, for example, and myself, we're actually the highest sought after companies now after COVID. So that's we have interesting approach that we're all ready for it, because the market's prepped for us, but it is humbling to know we're the first to go if the financial structure is a little shaky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so true. I think some of the challenge is like the trades, for example, people know they're really good at something. And so they say, I'm really good at this. I'm an excellent plumber, I'm an excellent carpenter. Why don't I do that for a living? I love it and it's great. But there's such a difference when you're talking about now making it like a small business. Sooner
Mm.
or later, you don't have the skills to market yourself, to budget accordingly, to network, to figure out who are your clients, and who you should be working with. And so a lot of people, I feel like a lot of tradespeople struggle because they know they're good at something, but everyone, the outside world expects them to make it a small business that's instantly viable. So that's one of the things that we really want to bring to our company is the skills and knowledge to not just do the trade, but if there's interest, customer service and all of the skills that you need to be a small business owner or entrepreneur.
Hmm.
Everything. The networking part is huge. Like sometimes you have to like take an opportunity. Like yesterday, I only follow one celebrity, one, and it's because I named my son Ja. So I follow one of Bob Marley's grandsons so my son knew where the origin of his name was. And literally 100 people on TikTok, and this dude is one of them. Well, he is in Portland, and I was like, I'm going. And I don't even know how I knew. And I was like, but I'm going. And I offered to perform for free. And they were like, well, why don't you just try to win tickets? We can't do that. It's a smaller, kind of more intimate Q&A event. And I was like, oh my God, even better. I have questions. So I won tickets and I went, and this man has my business card in his pocket today. Like he's just one of
Wow.
those. It's probably not his pocket anymore as they were his pants last night. But that's networking. Like I was there and
That's
I had a
our
question. I had question ready. Like, he knows who I am in his brain because I had a great question. And, and it was smart because I started doing stand up while I'm doing aerial and I was running out of breath. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's awesome. A 15-minute act. I got a solid all me 15-minute act. Like that's cool, right? And but I was like panting, trying to make people laugh, and it was hard. So I asked him what type of breath work he does and like what type of exercises he does to prepare for his shows. And he says he runs to and he sings Billie Jean. So any type of cardio, whether he's kicking a soccer ball or whatever, he's singing that song because of something with the pace or whatever. I'm not even sure if he said it, but my brain came up with that.
thinking while his heart rate's increased while he's doing cardio, it will literally, yeah, that's beautiful. That is really,
Yeah. But
but
that's networking. That's being a small business owner. Like that's like the shit that was worth getting a babysitter for. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I was like,
Hmm.
I'm going. And then the odds, like I don't follow celebrities like that. So it was just like, okay, he tours, I own a rig. Like this is logical.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and he comes to Maine. They come to Maine. Like that family and the Roots have always, growing up, you could always get one of their concerts. Damian Marley I've seen multiple times at Bates. They come to Maine. They love Maine. So I was just like, oh my God, this is my moment. Like, even if it's nothing really happens from it, but the fact that the radio station picked me, I got to ask the question. It was just small business owner swag, the whole moment. Like, that's what that was.
that's how everything is in small business, though. Like it's the little wins that we build on. They're like, it's the big elephant one bite at a time. It's 10 floors
Hmm.
at a time, right? So, and I think that that's like the most important thing that I see about business is we all have this vision. We all have this dream. We want to be big. We want to do big things. We're all here because we want to make an impact in whatever way we make an impact and in ripple in this world. But we have to hone in that want and that desire that we so want to explode out of us and
Yeah.
take one step at a time. And oftentimes it's little steps like that that we don't even know about, like a move to Portland, a BNI meeting, going to a certain event, meeting with a certain person. Like when I met Graham, I had no idea that he was going to teach
Hmm.
me media to market a business that I didn't even have at that point.
Hmm.
Right?
It,
Yeah, I need to
it's
come up with
I
this.
I like what you said, Michelle, about dialing in. Like who your customers are, because that is just such a key piece in like business. That you're right. I mean, I deal with a lot of businesses, and that's literally like one of the number one things that people aren't really keeping in mind, because there's a couple different